Hi, my name is Daniel Clark, and today on 07/16/2025, I'm going to be conducting assignment FTH212. So please sit back and enjoy the lesson. So as you can see, there's no live ammunition currently around me or in my workspace. From what my workspace you can see, the only thing I got are these little dummy rounds. That's for later on in this assignment. As you can see, this pistol is free and clear of any live ammo as well, and that too will be brought into later on in the assignment. So let's get into, well, without further ado, the assignment. This is how I received the pistol. The pistol is in many pieces. I stick it together. I called it my adult puzzle. As you can see, um, I spent maybe about 2.5 hours putting this together. So this is how I received the pistol. The pistol is now together. You'll see it more towards the end of this. So let's get into different parts of this pistol, such as the trigger bar, and I want to talk about things like their dimensions. So the trigger bar, as you can see in the picture, the dimensions for this, the length is 2.75 to 3 inches long. The width is 0.1 to 0.12 inches long. Potential failures for this part. Trigger reset fails to reset. Cause misalignment with the connector or worn cruciform tail. Light primer strikes, incomplete striker lug engagement. Burst fire, cruciform tail fails to catch the striker lug. Damage and wear types on this part. Kind of what you're looking for is what I'm going with wear type. The cruciform tail edge, you're looking for rounding or flattening. The connector contact, you're looking for polishing or micro galling. I think I said that right. Anyways, the spring hook underside, deformities and fatigue. Trigger shoe pivot hole, elongated cracking. Housing rails, carbon buildup or drag. Additional components that interact with this component are the trigger shoe. Initiates the rearward movement. Sorry, had a brain fart. The trigger return spring resets the bar after firing. The trigger housing guides bar travel. The striker lug catches on the cruciform tail. The slide rails, the cams the bar down during reset. I think I put that right. Cams bar. I don't know. That could be wrong. I don't know. My English ain't that great. If you look right there, I didn't really. I don't know. It could be and two cans. Anyhow, I digress. Moving on. The safety plunger must be lifted by the bar to allow the striker movement. The frame pin secures the housing bar. If you're not comfortable fixing this part yourself, I would definitely take it to somebody that's more professional within this platform and can do this with more confidence and fix this part for you because somebody that's properly trained, it should only take them around 30 minutes to an hour to fix this part. And if you're having any more time or issues trying to fix that part, then I would just take it to somebody that knows a little better. Anyways, next part, the ejector. As you can see here, this is the ejector. The ejector height is approximately 0.25 to 0.3 inches long, or 30 inches long, sorry. The ejector width is 0.05 to 0.7 inches. The potential failures, failure to eject. The cause, worn or bent or misaligned ejector tips. Brass to face, incorrect tip angle or extractor tension. Double feed, weak ejection, timing or short slide travel. Slide locker with casing. Ejector fails to connect with the rim properly. Let's see, what I put there? Erratic ejection pattern. Tip geometry inconsistent or loose mounting. Damage and wear types. Ejector tip, rounding and chipping. This is what you're looking for. Mounting surface, loosening or misalignment. Contact edges, polishing and burrs. Additional components that interact with this are the extractor, grabs the casing rim, slide rails, guides the casing path during ejection, striker lug, timing affects the slide velocity, ejection force, recoil spring governs the slide return, trigger bar cruciform controls the striker release, affects the slide speed. The magazine feed lips. If casing is not cleared, next round might jammed. How long should this part to take? 30 to 45 minutes, maybe an hour, depending. If you're not comfortable fixing this part, I would also see a trained gunsmith. The next part I want to talk about is the barrel. The length is 3.9 inches long, outer diameter is 0.5 inches, the chamber depth is 0.75 inches, the hood width is 0.75 inches, the feed ramp is 30 to 35 degrees of an angle. Potential failures with the barrel are failure to return to battery, barrel hood, misfit, or lug interference. These could be the causes. Light primer strikes cause barrel hood misalignment, affect striker path. Feed failures, poor feed ramp, polish, or angle. Magazine drops during firing. Locking lug geometry, presses mag catch. Excessive barrel wear, poor finish, or soft steel. Damage and wear types, what you'll be looking for when you do your inspection. The barrel hood, you're looking for polishing and peening. Locking lug, rounding and chipping. The feed ramp, carbon buildup and gouging. Chamber throat, erosion and fouling. Muzzle crown, dings and uneven wear. Additional components that interact with the barrel are the slide, locks over the barrel hood, and cams barrel during recoil. Locking block engages barrel lug to delay unlocking. Recoil spring assembly drive slide forward affects the barrel timing. Magazine feed lips aligns around with the feed ramp. The extractor grabs casings, rim, barrel, chamber must support full seating. Total time to fix is 30 to 45 minutes. As always, if you're not comfortable fixing this part, consult your local gunsmith to get that part fixed for you. Let's see, let's talk about the striker. The dimensions, length 2.6 to 2.8 inches, tip diameter 0.08 to 0.10 inches, lug width 0.25 inches, the sleeve diameter is 0.3 inches. Potential failures and causes of these failures, like primer strike, it could be a worn striker, tip, or weak spring. Failure to reset, sticky striker or misaligned safety plunger. Burst fire, apex trigger, in other words. Lug fails to catch cruciform tail. Striker break, MIM, pat, fatigue, or dry fire stress. Drag induced malfunctions. Striker drags on the channel due to burst. Damage and wear. Wear types. Striker tip, flattening chips. You're looking in for flattening and chipping. Lug edges, rounding and deformations. Sleeve surface, polishing and carbon buildup, spring cups, cracking and misalignment. Additional components that interact with this part are the trigger bar cruciform trail, hold striker lug until break, safety plunger, block striker until lifted by the trigger bar, striker spring compresses during the slide travel, drives the tip forward, slide channel guides the striker movement, tolerance can also affect the drag. Spring cup and spacer sleeve maintain spring alignment and compression, and batch plate retains striker assembly, affects tension and alignment. How long should this part to take? If you're not trained, it should take around 30 minutes to an hour, just like most parts. But if you're not comfortable fixing this part, consult your local gunsmith. The next part, let's talk about the striker safety. The striker safety, the plunger length is 0.45 to 0.50 inches. The plunger diameter is 0.12 to 0.14 inches. The spring length is 0.25 inches. The tip profile rounded or beveled. Potential failures and causes of these failures. Failure to fire, plunger stuck or misaligned, drag introduced, reset failure, burrs and carbon buildup on plunger, burst fire, which is rare. Plunger fails to reset, striker not blocked. Plunger spring fatigue, weak tension over time, damage and wear and types of wear you should look for. Plunger tips, flattening burrs. Plunger channels, carbon buildup or carbon buildup or galling, spring coil, compression fatigue. Interaction components that interact with this are the trigger bar ramp, fits plunger during rearward travel. Striker lug blocked by plunger until lifted. Plunger spring maintains upward tension. Slide channel guides plunger movement. Backplate retains striker and plunger assembly. Time required to fix around 30 minutes to an hour. As always, I would seek somebody out that has a degree in doing this kind of thing if you're not comfortable in doing it yourself. The last thing I want to talk about for this is the magazine catch. The dimensions are catch face width is 0.12 inches to 0.14 inches. The catch depth is 0.08 of an inch to 0.10 inches. The spring channel diameter is 0.05 inches. The button height is 0.15 to 0.18 of an inch. Potential failures and causes of these failures. Magazine drops during firing, worn catch face or misaligned barrel lug. Hard to press release, overtension, spring or frame, overtensioned spring or frame defect. Failure to retain mag, catch too shallow or spring too weak. Mag doesn't drop free. Catch binds or mag swells under load. Damage and wear types. Catch face, rounding, you're looking for rounding and polishing. The spring channel, you're looking for debris buildup and fatigue. Button surface, cracking deformities. Mag notch interface, you're looking for burrs and wears from friction. Additional components that interact with this are the magazine body and notch, must align precisely with the catch face to secure the lockup. Magazine spring tension affects the forceful mag, seats and drops. Frame channel guides catch movement, misalignment caused by binding. Trigger house pin secures catch, improper seating affects retention. The barrel lug geometry can press against the mag body and influence the catch retention. The lock block misfit geometry can cause the mag to ride too high or too low. The time to fix this is probably around 30 minutes to an hour as well, and should have a degree in gunsmithing or at least basic knowledge of gunsmithing. And if you're not comfortable, seek out your local gunsmith. All right, as you can see, my workspace is still free clear of any live ammunition. Here's the weapon. This is also free clear of any live ammunition. So the next thing I want to do for this lesson is in my video, I want to run the firearm through all 8 steps of the cycle of operations and articulate what is occurring within the firearm during each step. Here's the magazine that came with the weapon. It is also free and clear of live ammunition. I'm going to drop the slide forward, insert the magazine. So first thing you're going to have the feeding. I did the magazine in so it'll hold the slide open for me. So the cycle begins with the feeding where the magazine spring pushes the next round upward into position. As the slide moves forward, the round contacts the feed ramp and starts to enter the chamber. A worn or damaged magazine catch or feed lip could hinder a reliable feeding here. Chambering. As the slide continues to move forward, the round is guided fully into the chamber by the feed ramp. The extractor begins to engage the case rim. Critical dimensions like chamber depth and ramp angle are vital to ensure the round seats correctly. Locking. Once the chamber and the barrel locks into the slide, usually via the lug or cam system, depending on the design. This ensures the barrel and slide stay together during firing. A worn lock lug or slide stop notch might compromise timing and safety here. Firing. With the striker cocked and the trigger pulled, the sear releases the striker and drives forward under spring tension. The striker and primer and ignites the propellant. The striker engagement, surface, and spring tension are key to consistent ignition. Unlocking. After a round is fired, the slide moves rearward due to recoil, and the unlocking begins. The barrel doesn't. This engages from the slide through the cam or link action. Feeding the chamber timing is essential here. If unlocking occurs too early, it risks unsafe pressure levels. Extracting. The extractor Now firmly engages with the rim of the casing, pulls the spent round rearward. As the slide reacts, if the claw is chipped or misaligned, reliable extraction may fail. This is often seen in erratic cycling or double feeds. Ejecting, as the case is clears the chamber, it hits the ejector, causing it to pivot out of the ejection port. This is the movement we see brass fly. The ejector shape and protrusion affects consistency. A flat or recessed face may lead to stovepipes. Cocking. Finally, the railroad movement of the slide resets the striker spring. Tension builds as the striker is re-engaged by the sear and the system returns to the ready position. Striker spring, wear, and sear geometry can impact the trigger feel and reset. Alright, so as you can see, I went off camera and I reloaded this magazine with some dummy rounds so I can do this next portion, which is perform a functions check with dummy ammunition as outlined in the lecture material. As you can see, my workspace is still free, clear, live ammunition, and so is this weapon. So what's in this magazine are just the red dummy rounds that were sent. So the first thing I want to do is release the slide forward. I'm going to insert the magazine, and basically here I want to check to make sure the magazine is not wiggling. I want to check to make sure my safety is in line by pushing the top of the trigger, not the bottom, because that's where the safety connects. So once that is done, I can also check my mag release, set that back in. I'm also checking for plumbness on the front, the back, and along the sides with my mag slide release and everything like that. I want to make sure everything's plumb and fitting like it's supposed to be. So now that we have done that, the next thing I want to do is I want to pull the trigger, listen for that metallic click, and with my finger still on the trigger is what I want to do is lock that slide forward, injecting that first round into the chamber. Now I want to slowly release this trigger and listen for the metallic click as well going forward. So you heard the click going back and you heard the click going forward, so that means the trigger sounds good. So now that that round is in the chamber, what should happen is when I pull this open, it should eject that round just like that right there. Now the next round should be loaded. I want to do the same thing. And boom. Now, one more time. As we can see, the ejection's working great for this. And as you can see, so is my slide lock. I'm going to drop the magazine. As you saw, the safety was as well working properly. And so is my catch and my slide catch, and so is my ejector, and everything seems to be working just fine with this weapon. I would do my no-go gauges and take this to the range and then check it out. Not going to be till after this class, but that would be my next step. So that is how you functions check and what is going on with the functions check within this weapon. So if I want, and also what you're looking for upon the functions check. So you're looking for wear, damage, and anything. You're looking for plumbness along the front, along the back. You're also checking your slide release. You want to check your magazine, ensure your magazine catch is good. You're also checking your safety by pressing the top of that trigger. You're also listening for that metallic click. While holding back the trigger, you want to listen to make sure that trigger resets. So this is the stuff you're looking for upon doing your weapons check and weapons function. This has been my video. I hope I got everything, and I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Peace out. Catch y'all on the next one.